From KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
A rough landing. A man's homecoming ruined after he discovered his truck had been stolen from the San Antonio Airport parking garage. Why that man says more should have been done to stop the person who stole it. A suspected human smuggling operation takes a deadly turn. What Kinney County deputies are saying about this pursuit. And floats that really do. Fiesta in full swing in San Antonio. Look at the sights, the sounds, and the partying. But first, he found his luggage at the airport, but it's his truck he lost. That's the situation one man says he found himself in after returning to San Antonio International. He left his truck at the airport only to find thieves stole it from the parking garage. He spoke to the night team's John Paul Barajas about the frustrating end to a family trip.
A disappointing discovery for one traveler. The truck he says he left in the San Antonio International Airport parking garage was gone when he came home from vacation.
Once I realized that the truck had been gone literally since the 18th, I was like, I'm not getting this truck back. I don't believe that they're going to be able to find this vehicle after it's been gone for 5 days.
The victim asked to remain anonymous. San Antonio police say his blue 2023 Dodge Ram TRX pickup was used to hit the garage's guard arm so whoever was driving could leave without paying for parking. A criminal mischief report was filed for the minimal damages.
He told me that it happens all the time. People want to skip parking, and so they break through these barriers with their vehicles and they just, go on about their way.
The victim tells us he had no idea about the criminal mischief report until he reported the truck stolen.
And he explained to me that they can't say that a vehicle's been stolen until I come and confirm that the vehicle's been stolen. They're going to write a report and it's going to sit until the owner comes home and reports it's stolen.
In this case, the truck owner believes the truck of his dreams is long gone, but thinks more could have been done when the truck was used to break out of the secured garage.
It literally walked out of there, and it wasn't that person was able to drive my truck for 5 days. With no police officer in the city of San Antonio would have pulled over that truck because there was nothing that told them that truck may have committed a crime.
Now, this is the parking garage where the victim left his truck. According to SAPD, only one other truck or vehicle has been reported stolen from this parking garage in the last year, and it happened to be earlier this month. As for people hitting the guard arm to get out without having to pay for parking, as you heard, the victim was told that it happens a lot. But according to San Antonio airport officials, they say this was an isolated incident. At the San Antonio International Airport, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Now, that may have been an isolated incident, but car thefts are a growing problem here in San Antonio. SAPD says they're up 59% so far in 2023 compared to the first 3 months of 2022. One of those stolen cars turned up at the city impound lot, but the owner says he didn't know for days it was there. The hefty fees he faces and the concerns he's raising when KSAT investigates Wednesday right here on the Nightbeat. Let's go to Kinney County now, where 3 people are dead as a result of a police pursuit. It ended in a rollover crash. It happened in Kinney County as DPS troopers tried to pull over a driver suspected of human smuggling. These are photos from the Kinney County Sheriff's Office. The driver of a black pickup truck evaded troopers several times. Eventually, the chase ended when the driver hit a ditch and started rolling. Deputies say 8 people inside thrown from the vehicle. 2 people died at the scene. 1 died in a helicopter while on the way to the hospital. The Kinney County Sheriff's Office says most of the photos from the scene are too graphic to be released. DPS is still investigating the incident. Stay with us on air and online as we work to get you more information. To the latest effort now to improve school security. It's one step closer to the Texas Senate. House Bill 3 needs one final vote to move out of the Texas House. That's according to the Texas Tribune. The legislation would require schools to employ several safety tactics, such as classrooms to have silent panic alarm buttons, school safety inspections every 5 years, and having one armed security officer on each campus. Now, an armed teacher could actually meet that requirement. House lawmakers also voted on a separate bill that would provide a financial incentive for armed employees who are certified as school guardians. That bill, House Bill 13, also needs one final vote before it heads to the Texas Senate. Meanwhile, state senators working on their own school safety legislation. Early voting underway in Bexar County. San Antonio's Proposition A expected to be a big draw to the polls. Supporters and opponents both out today, rallying voters to their sides. The controversial ballot initiative would change San Antonio's city charter by decriminalizing marijuana and abortion. expanding the city's set and release program, and creating permanent bans on no-knock warrants and chokeholds. We have a more in-depth look at the initiative on KSAT.com. Early voting runs through Tuesday, May 2nd. Election Day, Saturday, May 6th. Also on KSAT.com, we have a list of everything else that's going to be on the ballot for the May 6th election. You can also find your polling location, sample ballots. Just scan this QR code to be taken to our election homepage.
What a beautiful evening this evening. Temperatures in the 60s out there, low humidity. All in all, it was a wonderfully nice day around South Central Texas. Our average high temperature this time of year is 82 degrees, but guess what? We only got up to about 70. Now, coming up in the forecast, we are going to talk about how tomorrow things change a little. We get humidity back into the picture, even a chance for some storms, some of which could be strong or severe with some hail. Of course, I'll have a look at the rest of your week. And today I saw something on the radar and it wasn't rain. I can't wait to show you what it was coming up in a bit. Steve.
Thank you, Sarah. I also want to talk to you about something I'm calling a flambeau front. That's coming up. All right, it was the usual Fiesta fun, but tonight we were treated to perhaps the best weather ever for the 78th annual Texas Cavaliers River Parade. The night team's Lee Waldman at the Arneson River Theater, where things just wrapped up. Lee, it was packed out there tonight.
Oh my gosh, Steve, this energy in the Arneson Theater was unmatched. So it's empty now. But this whole place was jam-packed, standing room only. People were excited. So many of the people I talked to tonight said this parade is the most special parade they attend every year for Fiesta.
Your daughter is saying it's your birthday tomorrow and that you've been doing this at these exact same seats for so long now.
Yes, for years and years. Yes.
That's amazing. How many years have you done this?
Oh, I can't even remember. 10, 12, 15, 20, I don't know. I can't remember. I've been doing it for a long, long time.
For the one, the only, King Antonio, the 100. Mr. Clyde Johnson, the 4th.
Take a hand.
I gave one check.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can still get a hand.
Welcome to the 78th annual Texas Annual River Parade. Texas Cavaliers Annual River Parade.
Can you look at this camera and say Viva Fiesta on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Fiesta!
Marcy, what are you most excited for tonight's parade?
Tonight's parade, because love the floats, the lights, cheering, yelling, wearing my hat.
Thank you. Oh no.
We love the weather. We're excited about seeing all these people, all the flowers, and Fiesta. Floats and everything. We've been coming to this parade for years.
Yeah?
It's like just special.
Is this the best weather we've ever had for the parade?
Yeah.
If you feel like dancing, dance. They only pass through the Arneson Theater one time. Come on, let's go.
What are you most excited for tonight's parade?
The colors, the festivities, friends, family, everything.
I love that.
That's what Fiesta's all about.
You know, he said it right there. That is what Fiesta is all about. Tonight's parade theme was fantastic voyages. We were blessed tonight to have an actual astronaut as the Grand Marshal. Tonight was filled with so much fun. Lots of cascarones. If you saw me, you were probably a victim of the cascarones. And all of that fun is happening again on your official Fiesta station. You know that's right. KSAT 12 News. For now, live at the Arneson, Lee Waldman. KSAT 12 News.
All right, Lee, I didn't see you get cascarone by anybody.
I got tons of cascarones. They're still in my hair. Lots of them ended up in my eyelashes too, but I'm sure you'll get some video of me getting cascarone tomorrow. Or Steve, you can do it yourself.
All right. Yeah, I'll wait till you get back to the station. Thank you, Lee. All right, a quick programming note right now because of tonight's parade. A couple ABC programs will be shown at a different time. They're still going to air, but you need to adjust your DVRs accordingly. American Idol will be rebroadcast on KSAT tomorrow morning at 1:35 a.m. And The Good Doctor will air on Saturday at 2:05 a.m. Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. The family of an SAISD detective who was run over and killed left disappointed after one of the men convicted in that killing took a plea deal with a 15-year prison sentence. That was the result of the trial for Alfredo Martinez Contreras. A plea deal on a lesser charge of assault of a peace officer causing bodily injury for the death of Detective Cliff Martinez back in 2019. Martinez Contreras could be eligible for parole, get this, in less than 4 years. That's why the family's upset. Police are looking for the suspect in a drive-by shooting on the southeast side. It happened about 11:15 last night at a home on Manchester Drive near Southeast Military and Highway 281. Officers say a man in his 20s shot while in the front yard. He was taken to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. The victim did not recognize the suspect or the vehicle. Right now, police need your help in finding a missing child. Officers say 12-year-old Janae Zavala was last seen on April 15th near South General McMullen and Castroville Road. At the time, she was wearing a brown shirt and black sunglasses. If you know anything that can help lead authorities to her, you're asked to call SAPD's Missing Persons Unit. That number 210-207-7660. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. You remember last week's storms that blew through San Antonio? Why crews are still dealing with the flooding aftermath. Scary scenes on 2 separate American Airlines flights. What may have caused the engines to catch fire? Can you imagine this looking out your window? The federal government trying out a different approach to track migrants released from federal immigration custody. Today, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, began testing a new wrist-worn GPS monitor. The device also has messaging and facial recognition technology. Now, it resembles a smartwatch. ICE says it's part of its efforts to find alternatives to detention. Fox News host Tucker Carlson out as the host of the network's 8 o'clock hour today. Today's announcement comes 1 week after Fox News settled a defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems. The agreement, a $787 million settlement over the network spreading election lies in which Carlson played a key role. His last day on air was Friday. His replacement has not been named. The family of an inmate who died in a bedbug-infested jail cell demanding an investigation from the U.S. Justice Department. LaShawn Thompson died back in September in a Fulton County jail in Atlanta. His family hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump to represent them. The family hopes to hold those in charge of the jail accountable for his death. In an unrelated move, a Georgia senator also looking for accountability after learning of a new inquiry into the condition of jail cells throughout the state of Georgia. 2 fires on separate planes, prompting the FAA to investigate American Airlines. One fire sparked in an engine on Sunday morning. It's this one. This was probably the result of a bird strike. Passengers recording on their phones as the engine burst into flames, forcing the pilots to make an emergency landing. A few days before that, another plane's engine also caught fire before takeoff. The airline says both incidents were due to mechanical issues. No one was hurt in either instance. Those strong storms Thursday and Saturday didn't just cause hail and a loud thunder show going into Sunday. They flooded areas across our viewing area. KSAT viewer Emmanuel Valero actually sent us this video of him pushing a stalled car through the water on I-35's lower level early Sunday morning. That lower level of I-35 downtown, a typical flooding spot in town. That's why TxDOT actually has pump stations that drain water from those low-lying streets. But this week there was so much water and debris, those major roads were forced to shut down completely.
There is some debris that could get, clogged up in there. And then, unfortunately, we did have some mechanical issues that we are working out.
Yeah, crews did have to manually pump the water from the roads on Sunday. TxDOT confirms they are currently working on that issue at the pump station, aware that there's more rain in the forecast this week. And that makes a perfect transition to the Weathercast. As we take a live look outside, 66 degrees out there. All right, so you've kind of got it all in this Weathercast, Sarah. You've got what I call the flambeau front and flying mammals.
That thing I saw on the radar, it's bats. Take a look behind me. This is a look at the radar at about 8 o'clock this evening, right at around sunset. You see what looks like a bullseye or a donut of what, quote unquote, might be rain. It's actually 20 million Mexican free-tailed bats flying out of Bracken Cave, the largest bat colony in the world. This happens every year. They're going out, they're getting their dinner, which is lots and lots of insects. Help us with the mosquito population here after all of that rain. And that colony is so big that you can see it on the radar, that radar located in New Braunfels. Notice how they kind of disperse, fan out from one single point. That's where Bracken Cave is. Really cool to see that on the radar earlier tonight. Otherwise, it was a beautiful day with nothing else on the radar. 70 degrees for the high temperature, 12 degrees cooler than average this morning. We woke up to a crisp 54. Here's a look at where temperatures stand right now. We're generally in the mid 60s around San Antonio and south central Texas. It's 66 in Del Rio, 65 in Uvalde, and 62 in Kerrville. Dew points are on the rise, though. Notice that out in Corpus Christi and Victoria. Dew points are in the 60s. We've got a wind from the southeast. That's going to slowly increase that humidity overnight, so much so that early tomorrow morning we are going to have some mist and drizzle out there. A bit of a damp morning commute in spots, 40% coverage on that drizzle. We'll have a little bit of a break during the mid-morning and midday hours, but in the afternoon, particularly between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., there will be some pockets of thunderstorms peppering the radar. Scattered in nature, so not everybody is going to see rain, but it being this time of year, right in spring, we typically get those spring-like storms. These do have the potential to become strong or even severe, where we'll be watching out for the potential for some hail. Again, the window there is 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And when we look at tomorrow's severe storm chance, it's greatest in this darker pink color here. So generally on the northeast side of Bexar County, up 35 toward Austin, out I-10 toward Houston. That's where we have that highest potential for some severe weather tomorrow. Window for that is 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. If a storm becomes stronger, it could produce some hail. We'll keep an eye on that for you. But here's a look at the forecast, breaking it down in our KSAT 12-hour forecast. Some drizzle in the morning, in the 60s early tomorrow morning, so it's going to be pretty mild. And then right around noon, close to 70 degrees. It's in the afternoon that we'll be watching for those storms, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Otherwise, it's going to be a calm day with a high near 73. Now, when we look at rain chances in the next few days throughout the rest of the week, we're really looking at nighttime storm chances. Wednesday night into Thursday, and then Friday night into Saturday. So during the days, with the exception of tomorrow, it's going to be pretty nice, and that means great weather for the Fiesta, any kind of parades. So for Battle of Flowers, it's going to be beautiful, mostly sunny in the 70s. Fiesta Flambeau, if you're going to be out and about, you may be reaching for that light jacket. It's going to be in the 60s for Fiesta Flambeau in the evening hours. Again, just paying attention tomorrow between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure you have that KSAT Weather Authority app. I know that that's a time when a lot of people are commuting, heading home from their day at work. So just keep that in mind. We'll be live covering those storms if they do end up developing.
A flambeau front.
A flambeau front. I like that.
I like it. I've got I got a long sleeve shirt ready.
It's going to be nice for flambeau, Steve.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarah. All right. Live on KSAT Thursday night.
Yep.
The NFL draft.
Yes.
What will the Cowboys do?
And that's what a lot of Cowboys fans are asking. We really don't know. As far as possibly moving up higher into the draft, Stephen Jones says it's more like a game time decision. And Aaron Rodgers has himself a new team coming up.
Drafting's not our problem. Coaching is. Yeah.
He's got to get everybody.
Jerry Jones zings head coach Mike McCarthy to end the Cowboys pre-draft presser today, and some may read into that comment in Big Board Sports. The 2023 NFL Draft kicks off Thursday night at 7 live right here on KSAT 12. The Dallas Cowboys are near the end of the first round with the 26th overall selection. Jerry Jones said they could move up, move down, or stay in the same place when asked about moving up, so not a lot of clarity there. Stephen Jones, however, offered a better response that brought up the name Johnny Manziel.
You really don't know till it happens. You can read all the mock drafts. You can see all the things that maybe were officially polled quietly by other general managers, but you'll never know till you're there. And then, that's where being nimble and being able to make quick decisions, Jerry can make a quick decision if we say, hey, here's an opportunity, and oh, by the way, it's a guy we had quite a bit higher than where he's fallen to now. It might be worth considering giving up something.
Well, I made one on Manziel a few years ago, and that didn't go so well. That right there. So there's one a decision.
Exactly.
It's been said that Steven had to physically stop his dad from writing Johnny's name on the draft card. And with the second overall pick Thursday night, the Houston Texans will select, well, we really don't know. It's now rumored they'll draft a defender at number 2, then select a quarterback later in the first round at number 12. One thing we do know is this is DeMeco Ryans' first NFL draft as a head coach. GM Nick Caserio says it's been great working with DeMeco during the pre-draft process.
DeMeco, the staff, it's been great. We've had a lot of constructive discussions, a lot of good meetings, a lot of good dialogue. And I think we all want to get to the same end point. We just want to try to have a good football team, bring in good people with the right mindset, with the right makeup, that have a certain skill level that can go out there and perform at a good level on Sundays. So that's the goal for all of us involved, and we're going to try to do the best we can to get there.
The Texans have 12 draft picks, tied with the Raiders for the most in the NFL. A big trade in the NFL today. The Green Bay Packers are sending quarterback Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. The Packers are giving up Rodgers and 2 picks in this week's draft, including their first-round selection at number 15. In return, the Jets are giving up 3 picks in this year's draft, including their first pick at number 13 and a conditional 2024 second-round selection.
He'll always be a Packer, you know what I mean? And he'll want to be one of the best that ever have done it around here, and I have a lot of respect how he went about it. And he'll be missed. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, players like that don't come around very often.
Jets great Joe Namath gave Rodgers his blessing to wear number 12, but Aaron is expected to wear number 8 like he did in college at Cal per ESPN. TPC San Antonio was the place to be this morning because more than 30 former NFL players were there to help out Morgan's Wonderland and the NFL alumni's nonprofit Caring for Kids. Ed Too Tall Jones, Everson Walls, and Henry Ellard were among the former pros on hand. The event was presented by Amazon, a luxury home magazine, aiming to raise $300,000 for Morgan's Inclusion Initiative and Caring for Kids. The NFL alum were more than happy to be there golfing with their buddies for a great cause.
Share the event, for Morgan's Wonderland, and just being part of it as an NFL alumni, doing what I can and have a little fun playing golf.
Man, we got a nice day for golf and for good cause, and first time here, in fact, and looking forward to that. And this is something that we've done for many years in Austin, and experimenting with San Antonio here, and it's been very nice.
We have so many more things that we want to do, and now bringing in large organizations such as Amazon, the NFL, and others, it really allows us to really put our focus to saying we've come a long way, but there's so much more we can do and should do.
This is the first time San Antonio hosted the event, and based on all the smiles, it certainly won't be the last. Hawks DeJounte Murray suspended after the break. The AL West leading Texas Rangers hit the road to Cincinnati to start a 3-game series against the Reds. Top of the second, Rangers down 1-0. MacArthur grad Josh Young sends a drive deep to left field. That's gone for a solo home run. The first of 2 homers on the night for Young, but the Rangers fall in walk-off fashion 7-6, and the Astros lose to the Rays 8-3. Atlanta Hawks star DeJounte Murray was suspended 1 game without pay for making inappropriate contact with and verbally abusing a game official. The incident happened at the end of the Hawks' 129-121 loss to the Celtics in Game 4 of their first-round playoff series yesterday. DJ will miss Game 5 tomorrow night, and Boston leads that series 3-1.
Not a game, if you're a Hawks fan, you want him to miss.
No, he should have kept his cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back. So are you a fan of Saturday Night Fever? The suit John Travolta wore in that movie just sold at auction for a whopping $260,000. It's actually about $60,000 higher than it was expected to go. In the 1977 drama, Travolta's character escaped the realities of his life by dominating the dance floor at the local disco. The movie helped popularize disco music around the world, and the white 3-piece suit he wore became iconic.
Wow. Love it. That's awesome. All right, tomorrow we are going to have some thunderstorms in the area from about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., so just be on alert at that time. Otherwise, nighttime storms Wednesday night and Friday night, but the weather looks great during the day for all of the rest of Fiesta, including the parades.
Yeah, and in case you wondered, I was doing the John Travolta Saturday Night Fever. There, dance.